Hey guys, welcome back to the Tipsy Ghost. We are your tipsy hosts, Sarah, and Lindsay.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Do you want to go back to Iowa?
I would love to.
We love Iowa and how spooky and haunted Iowa is. I was going to say those cornfields. Do they grow corn? Where do they grow
You
in
know
Iowa?
what? I feel like there's cornfields in
We do the
Iowa.
wheat. They do the corn.
So, Iowa, the land of fertilizing in November.
And spooky corn.
And also, maybe the most haunted state. I'm
Which-
willing to bet now.
Fun fact, I've never been to Iowa until we started ghost hunting. And
I
now
know.
we're in Iowa all the time.
They have very many locations that are
I appreciate
haunted and
that.
spooky. I do too.
And like fun places. Real fun places.
You know what's really fun?
What?
Trains.
Ghost trains.
Ghost
Choo-choo.
trains. Choo-
Chugga, 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 chugga.
You said that was so much convention.
I need you to do
conviction.
the choo-choo to my chugga, chugga.
Choo-choo.
Have you seen that TikTok where the girl makes that choo-choo noise with her voice?
Come on,
Yes.
everybody.
Have you
I've-
tried to do it?
No, I've been wanting, so I wanted to have
I
us
don't know this TikTok.
duet it.
Ryan and
try
I
to do
tried it.
Wait,
it
what
was
is
not
this
pretty.
TikTok?
Okay,
I'll show you
well,
later.
just TBD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're going to make me do it without telling me.
She's incredible.
I'm sorry already.
But where did we go in Iowa?
Well, so we recently stayed at the Horridge House, which you guys have already heard, and that was a great experience in Vinton.
Mm-hmm.
But turns out the Horridge House is a 2-for-1 property.
Mm-hmm.
2, 4, 1.
It comes with a haunted train depot.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
I feel like you tried to. I feel like you tried to be seductive. Chugga, chugga, chugga,
That is the
chugga.
sexy train coming through.
That's so weird. Why did you make my train sound seductive?
You made it sound
I did
seductive. We just called it out.
It was not
We
supposed to be a sexy
seductively
train.
walked from Horridge House. We chugga-chugged all the way to the Vinton
It was not a
Train
far walk
Depot.
at all. Actually,
It was like
no.
2 blocks.
It was a
We
couple
drove
blocks.
because it was
No.
cold outside.
The first time we went there, we walked.
Yeah, we went several times back and forth.
Okay, I was going to say, in my recording,
But the
I
second and third-
specifically have you saying, I'm so glad we drove. It's so cold outside.
Yeah, the first time we walked with our guide, and
Uh-huh.
she gave us some history along the way.
And then we
so
drove the second time.
It was a little bit later in the night.
Yes, it was
So-
colder.
and also very cold.
This
Yeah.
is technically a part 2 to our Horridge House
It
episode.
is.
But they are 2 separate buildings,
Yeah.
so they get their own episode.
There.
And who doesn't love trains?
I love trains.
Turns out this place
They're
is a
a
blast.
great. They're a great way of transportation.
Did you guys know that my first ever train ride was with y'all?
Oh
Oh,
yeah, I forgot about that. We
With
went
me?
to Herman.
On our girls' weekend to Herman. That was my first ever train ride. And
I think
it was with
my
you.
first too.
I love
As long
that.
as we're not counting platform 9 3/4 when I rode at Universal. It's not a real train.
You had never ridden on the Polar Express.
No.
Platform 9 3/4 is also at Horridge House. If you listen to our episode, so it's there.
It might be.
All right, so just to throw this out there, I have basically written, or I'm going to read verbatim from their website. So this is not my wording. So the depot construction started on August 1st, 1899, and is considered one of the finest preserved passenger stations in eastern Iowa. Here, a visitor can look at a restored depot, study the hobo monikers in the renovated motorcar shed, and hop aboard a Rock Island line caboose.
All aboard!
Choo-choo!
We had a lot of fun role playing in this train depot.
Who knew that we all love trains?
I
best.
have a
Do
3-minute
not-
video of us
Do not spoil it.
pretending to be.
You're
working
spoiling
men.
it. You're spoiling
Sorry.
it.
It was the best time ever, but we're going to get there. It was erected. at-
Whoa.
I'm sorry. Not my words.
Nope,
Theirs.
nope.
Yeah, it was.
Built.
Resist. I kept it. It was erected
I
at
can't.
612 2nd Avenue at a cost of about $40,000 and was dedicated March 1st, 1900. Okay, so the depot is made of limestone and brick. But why is limestone important? We've talked about this before.
Boydson knows.
I think she does.
I just know it's because of ghosts.
It's pretty close.
It's a conductor. It's I think it holds water and it's a conductor of energy.
Okay. So more likely to get paranormal activity with limestone?
Did you say paranormal?
Paranormal.
Paranormal. Oh my gosh.
Paranormal.
Paranormal.
I like a good paranormal activity.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Neither one of you are answering my question.
I don't know the question.
What was your question?
You can't even remember. So are you more likely to
can't remember.
experience...
That was hurtful. I've had a traumatic brain injury.
Can't even remember.
So are you more likely to experience paranormal experiences, like with a building of limestone because of the energy, or...
That is what is said.
Yes.
Okay.
It retains energy.
Gotcha. Okay.
The floor of the depot is of terrazzo tile. I'm sure I said that beautifully. And the
sounded great.
woodwork and wainscoting is white oak.
Side point. It is a beautiful building inside.
It is gorgeous.
They have preserved it really, really well.
The depot is 132 feet long and 28 feet wide. So it kind of looks like a train car. Really.
Yeah, it's really long.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's saying.
There's a porte cochere. I had to look this up because I didn't know what that
I don't
meant.
know what that is either.
It basically means it's a covered entrance.
Oh, okay, like an awning.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 12 feet wide at the north side of the entrance. The depot no longer sees the bustle of passengers.
No.
The mail being snared or cargo being loaded and unloaded. It now stands quietly, reminiscing of those days and being preserved as another historical point of interest in Vinton County.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. All right, so just a little side note before we talk about our experiences at the train depot. We heard an interesting side story on our way over.
Yes, I forgot about
So
this.
normally we listen to these people talk and we're like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. And then whenever she got to this part, we were all just fascinated. This is definitely...
Stopped in our tracks.
If you will. That's a good pun. It took me a second. Okay, tell me the story. Because I remember pieces of it. I don't remember all of it.
All right,
It
so
has almost everything you would want.
I don't like that because
by
I
that-
do remember what the story's about.
by
So
that-
please don't say that.
Let me just clarify
Yeah,
then. I
here we go.
mean, true crime.
Okay,
there we go.
yes,
That's
yes,
unsolved.
It's got a group of
Unsolved
people
true
involved
crime.
that is not everything I would want.
And this is a very brief overview of the true crime. So, you know what? You should look into it if you're interested because this just covers just a few of the minor details
Yes, let's hear it.
or major details. So, the night of September 7th, 1925, Myrtle Cook, she was 51 at the time. She was sitting near the window of her home when she was shot through the front window. The bullet entered her heart and she died within the hour. Her home is located across the street from the train depot.
Okay.
So this is why we heard about her. Vinton is not a very big city.
Very small.
It is very small. So
Super small.
you can walk from one place to the other. All right, that may be a little bit of
We
an
gauge it
exaggeration,
like how
but
we did with Garnett. There's no
Yeah.
McDonald's in Vinton.
There's no cases.
Their gas station closes.
It did
It's not
close.
a 24/7 gas station.
We tried to go for
I am
socks.
shocked.
What do they do if somebody needs gas?
Well, you can get gas 24/7.
What do
but
they
the
do if
inside is
somebody
not.
needs snacks?
You can't get snacks.
There's
You
no
have to
snack
go
emergency.
to Des Moines or somewhere else.
Gotta go to Des Moines.
Nearest city. All right. Myrtle, her home's across from the train depot, and she was said to have been rehearsing out loud her speech to an upcoming Women's Christian Temperance Union meeting.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
She was the president of
Good for
the
you,
Vinton
Myrtle.
County WCTU. Wikitu.
What?
Sorry, come again?
Wikitu. WCTU.
Women's Christian.
Women's Christian Union.
Temperance Union. Apparently, they had published the names of people she had suspected of bootlegging. Oh boy. Remember, we're in 1925, so prohibition.
Prohibition. Okay, got it.
They named some people that they thought were bootlegging, so this would have been severely problematic.
I would have been in Myrtle's group 100%.
Oh my god. Lizzie.
I would have been her vice president.
Jesus. H. Just wait. You're not going to like that.
Okay. I don't know the rest of the story. So.
I know you don't. And I'm just telling you, you're not going to like that. It could have led to legal problems and jail time for those who were named.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So overall, people did not like Myrtle. That's what I was going to say. They just did not like
Myrtle
her. She
was
was calling
judgy.
out their fun. Like, this was the 20s. People were having a hard time.
It's the
And they just,
roaring
like, need
20s.
to let loose. They want to have a beer here and there. And Myrtle's like, you will not have a beer. I will call you out in front of the town.
Midnight Mass. Bev.
Myrtle is Bev.
Myrtle is Bev.
Can't stand Bev.
Honestly, That's a good comparison. They're both the worst.
Yes.
So, turns out Myrtle, she was also a member of the Ku Klux Klan.
I take back what I said about being Myrtle's
I know.
vice president.
I know.
Oof,
Not a
Lindsay,
fan.
that was a poor choice.
I told you I did not. I remembered that the stories about the KKK. I did not remember Myrtle was part of the KKK.
I just would not associate yourself.
Lindsay retracts the statement.
I
I
retract
understand.
completely.
I know what you were trying to say, but I get it. After her death, her funeral was officiated by a preacher who was also a member of the KKK and dressed in the typical white robe.
No.
Several other Klan members lined the sidewalk
No.
as her casket was transported from the church to the cemetery. A cross was set on fire at the graveside ceremony.
I don't understand. Like, I know that's a KKK thing, but, like, if you're also, I'm going to put in quotations, Christian, because I don't think Christians should be part of the KKK. But if you're also a Christian, why would you put a cross on fire? That seems like something counterintuitive to what your religion is.
I don't know. I did not dive deep into the KKK, nor do I want to.
No,
to be
I don't blame
honest.
you.
So,
blame you.
So basically, this is a cold case.
yeah. So
They don't
that's
know.
what I
So
know.
nobody knows
It's
who
a
shot
classic
Myrtle?
case of whodunit, right? It's the most studied case of like an unsolved crime in Vinton, for sure, and in Iowa. Nobody knows who actually killed her. There's a lot of different theories about who did it.
What are the theories? Do you know?
There's a
Like-
couple. One was her husband.
Myrtle.
One was an enraged prohibitionist.
Okay. Because she was a tattler.
And one was a KKK member.
Ooh,
Now,
scandal.
So they say that the KKK was kind of like promoting members to come and join them because they were saying that it didn't have anything to do with race. This is not my words. This is theirs. It didn't have anything to do with race at the time. It had everything to do with prohibition and gambling and drinking during the time. Now, my gut feeling says that this was just kind of a way to like get people to join.
I was going to say, it sounds like a cover-up.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Of course, I wasn't around in the 20s.
And I haven't researched the KKK, nor do I want to.
Yeah, not nearly enough. But this is kind of what was told to us and then just briefly what I was able to research. So they had pictures of this funeral procession, basically.
Oh my gosh,
And
I remember that.
Yeah, in the Vinton Train Depot. So that's why I talked about it. Because in there you can see members of the KKK in their like notorious white robes and the tall
Hats.
hats. Yes.
So there's some negative energy around that
Yeah.
train depot.
And not just like where Myrtle lived, but like on the other side across the street is where the funeral procession was. So
Yeah.
it literally was like right around there. It just makes you wonder if that was going on like in broad daylight,
Yeah.
then what was maybe going on behind the scenes? Question mark.
Question mark.
I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about what we experienced when we went there.
So this place, and if you have listened to our Horridge House, you might have heard us talk about this, but this place is fairly new as far as paranormal investigations.
Yeah, good point.
They just opened up paranormal investigations in April of 2021, I believe, and we went there in November 2021, so 6
Yes.
months. So not a lot of like history as far as paranormal experience because it is so new.
True.
We did hear that at this location, batteries are known to drain, and that an SLS camera did catch an anomaly.
Yeah.
And then also cat balls have been known to go off at this place as well.
Yeah.
So that was just the very brief overview we got of the paranormal history. And again, 6 months, so not a lot of history for us to go off of. So it's kind of cool to go to a place where we don't know really what other people experience. We get to try on our own.
Totally agree. And this place was pretty like narrow. As I mentioned, it kind of resembled a train car, if
Yeah.
you will. Long, narrow. So there weren't very many rooms for us to explore. You walk in, there is like
a
a
mini
small
kitchen.
area. Yeah, fridge there. You go a little bit further. That's kind of where it opens up into the larger area.
Like, there's built-in, like, pews, I want to say, but they're
Yeah.
like benches.
Yeah.
There's the counter. There's the whole ticket office where you can go inside, and there's a little ticketing office. And they had a lot of cool,
Yeah.
like, memorabilia. Gosh.
Did it.
Nailed it.
Memorabilia there. There was, like, old phones.
Oh, and my favorite piece of memorabilia is the stalk of corn with a red cross in it.
Yes.
That was out in the main area. Should we talk about our time in the ticketing office?
Yes. There was also like, I don't know what it is, a Morse code device. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, so
I don't know what those are called.
it was
Woodson,
I don't know,
explain
the
it.
conductors area, but it's also where they sold tickets.
Yeah.
It had an old register, like an old cash register.
We'll upload
I
pictures
was
so you
I
guys
was at
can
the
see
cash
this.
register
Like the
area,
big gold
by the way,
one where you would push
in an open window. I was selling tickets.
Well, the open window, so there's someone selling tickets, and then behind them is like where the Morse code, the telephones, all that is, and windows, so you can see the trains coming and you can see them going. Mm-hmm. And that's where we did a little bit of role playing, and that's where I sat.
We did.
Boydson was at the typewriter.
I was a typewriter / calculator.
Calculator.
Oh, that's what that was.
Because as Sarah was hollering out who was buying what, I was calculating the prices.
And I was answering the phones and tapping out Morse code and saying, "There's a train coming. No more tickets left."
We had the best time ever.
I got some of it on video.
It was the most chaotic.
We were very busy at
I
the
was like,
ticketing
2
station.
tickets, hurry up!
And she was also selling creamed corn to everyone. I had
Cream corn. Well, there was a poster board of prices, so I was like, cream corn.
we did that for a while, and it was so much fun. And then
We're the coolest people that I know.
who else could say that late at night?
We played trains.
We really did though.
I loved it so much. Everybody who asked me about that time up at Horridge, I'm like, Horridge House was cool, but have you been to the train station?
We were really excited about trains.
Train was amazing.
And in the back room, we haven't been to this room yet, but in the back room is like model train station area with like model towns, and I love those.
Mm-hmm. That was very cool.
Who knew we had such a emphatic love for trains? We had just never discovered this.
Until we went to a haunted train station. We're sitting there in the dark of a train station like, guys, this is really cool.
Can we go spend some time in that model train room? Yes.
We did.
That's exactly what happened. We were like, yeah, I'd like to.
Guys, we were destined to be friends because you're so weird. So this place is really cool, is what we have to say about this place.
Yes.
So we did a couple recordings. We had some night vision going. If you listen to our Horridge House, you'll find out that we left pretty early. We left at about 4:30 a.m. after 3 trains came through.
Yep.
Waking us up,
One
even
of
though we
them-
weren't asleep.
One of them may or may not have been ghost trains.
The other two for sure were not, because I went outside and witnessed them.
I don't know. We're going to call this forever Platform 9 3/4. The Vinton Train Depot.
So we got a little bit of video footage and some recording footage as well.
Yep.
I had the very first half of the night vision, so it only recorded about an hour and 20 minutes after we left.
Okay.
And I got a couple bangs, some clicking. I didn't see anything on the night vision. Like, I didn't really see any orbs or anything. The only kind of orbs, quote unquote, that I saw was right after we left. So I'm thinking that's probably just like dust that was settling after we shut the doors and all that. But otherwise, a couple bangs, some clicking noise that sounded like it was right by the video. So who knows? So yes, you guys had recordings while I was doing the night vision.
Yes. Honestly, we both had very similar experiences where I got a lot of loud clicks in the room. I could tell we're very close to the recorder. Banging noises. A couple times I said it sounded like a door was shutting. And the thing that we didn't mention is there are 2 functioning bathrooms
Yes.
in this area. And I thought while I was listening, it sounded like those bathroom doors, they were like just swinging doors.
Okay.
Shutting.
Which, they were, I think they were original. There's still like the pay, you have to pay
You have to pay
Yes,
to go
I
to the
remember that.
bathroom. I would have died in that era.
You would. That's where you
I
would
would've been
spend all of your
so
money.
Poor.
Pee on yourself.
And we'll add this caveat that nobody's in this place. Like if
again, yeah,
it was a
just
private
us
investigation, just like Horridge. So if we're not there, we were sleeping over in Horridge House.
So yeah, anyhow, there were definitely 2 functioning bathrooms, but yeah, they were very
Yes.
old school. And what I heard was I wrote that it sounded like those doors swinging
Okay.
a couple times.
Like the stall doors.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and our guide had mentioned that those doors had moved a couple times.
Okay.
So of course, I cannot say whether or not that was the case because I didn't have a video.
The video that I had did not show the bathroom doors.
Yeah.
Or the bathroom area at all, so I wouldn't have been able to see it anyways.
Sure.
My audio, and I had the audio for the very end of the night, but my audio goes something probably similar to Sarah's, but it goes something like knock. REM pod went off right after the knock, which is interesting.
Yeah,
I
it
did
doesn't
not
go
have
off
any
very
REM
often.
pod.
And then knock, faint, something dropping on the floor, question mark.
Yeah.
And then knock. Double knock. Clicking. Knock. And then the
Yes.
REM pod goes off again. and
dang.
then there was a very loud slam. Like, very loud.
Yes.
Click. And then a knock. And then I hear the loudest train I've ever heard in my life.
That was probably and I mentioned this. They told us in Horridge House that there's no trains that come in the middle of the night. They only come in at like 7 or 8 in the morning and 7 or 8 at night.
It's funny you mentioned that because during my recordings, I write down like bang, bang, loud knock, loud bang, door swinging, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, is this the train? Because it sounds like so far away that like I can't tell what's going on. And keep in mind that I think the recorder we had, where was it? It was
It was in the window where you were selling corn.
Yes, at the ticketing
Yeah.
office was one.
Yeah. So it could have been far away from any of those points, really. But not very far away from the train tracks.
And
Sorry, I was just saying, I thought maybe I heard the train a couple times. And then I heard the train for real on Boydston's
and it's
recordings. And
a real
no,
train.
you can hear her.
yeah, it's real. It's loud.
Yeah, it made me think, no way. That is definitely a train. What I heard is not a train.
So you thought you heard a train, but it wasn't.
What I thought was like loud clicking,
Yeah.
banging noises. I thought, well, is that
The train, yeah,
by?
going over the train tracks.
Yeah, because they were like fairly like, in a row. I thought I was hearing noises.
Yeah.
Even though looking back, it was like a full minute, 2 minutes
Yeah.
away.
And the
In my
trains,
head, I was thinking, oh, that's a train going over the tracks.
and I will
was
say
not.
that the trains, plural, that did go by, 3 over 30 minutes, the ones that did go by that we saw, they were real short trains, like
They
a few seconds. They were not long, like minutes and minutes that you're waiting.
Yeah, for sure.
Explain a little bit about the significance of the REM pod going off. What does that
Yeah,
mean?
because I will say on my recordings, I never heard the REM pod going off. And we had the same recorder, just different times.
I don't know if I've ever heard the REM pod going off
Yeah.
on a recording when
Yeah.
we've not been there.
So in order for the REM pod to go off, it's got an antenna and some energy, something has to touch the very end of it.
Right.
And then if it's like direct constant contact, it's this continuous noise. The lights light up all the way. But most of the time we get like a kind of a short, like something just kind of tapping it or getting a little close to it.
Yeah.
But no, you heard a knock or a bang,
Yeah.
whichever. And the REM pod would just do its like long beep
yeah.
for maybe 60 seconds and then it would stop. Which, and another caveat to the REM pod is like it only stops if something loses contact with it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought it just went off for a while.
No, if you touch it, it makes noise. If it's not being touched, it will not make noise.
So something was touching it for 60 seconds.
Yeah, and that was, I think, two maybe 3 times that
Wow.
it went off right after I heard a knock.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty cool.
I heard knocks and did not have a REM pod experience.
And I heard
so-
bangs and clicking and did not have a REM pod go off.
Very cool. I like that.
That is cool. Also, when we went there, so that was the overnight when we were not there.
Right.
When we were there, we did some Phasmobox.
Oh, boy.
And I have these recordings.
That's a fun time.
So, at the train depot, so we're mainly sitting like kind of on the pews, the benches, in the big open part. And on the Phasmobox, all the board came out, which I thought was pretty relevant. Carolyn came out, which I don't know if there's any significance to that name, but who knows? Somebody could have traveled through Carolyn. Yep. We did get a couple flashlight responses. I got on the Phasmobox for a little bit. Boydston, you mentioned that you were cold a couple times, which it's November. It was cold, but it's the only time that I heard you mention that you were cold. Sarah, you told the spirits to find a flashlight, and I said, you know that's stupid.
Oh, that sounds rude.
It's very rude.
I know,
Why
sorry.
would you say that?
You mentioned at another time to find the flashlight. You really wanted them to find the flashlights.
Listen,
and I
that's what
said,
Try to
I'll
investigate.
say hi. And you mentioned, and maybe you can kind of talk a little bit more about that because you said it real briefly. You mentioned seeing a teenage kid peeking their head out.
Several times, actually.
Do you remember
that?
It's when we were sitting on the pews, the benches.
It was the model train room.
Yes, thank you. I felt like there was little kids, teen age.
You're like a teenager, like a kid.
Like I was picturing my daughter's age. She's 13, so like around there.
Uh-huh.
Or my son's age, 9, like somewhere between there, like their size peeking out. So I think I said that enough to where we went back there.
We did.
Investigated a little bit.
So we went back to, this is the model train room that we loved so much.
Yes, I think we made that clear. We love this place.
We love it. I'm still listening to the Phasmobox at this point. Boydston, again, you said 2 times that you were cold and that you were really chilly. Mm-hmm. We didn't get much through the Phasmobox except for the name Charles came through.
Interesting. And I think I remember when we were back there that I didn't really feel a ton.
No, we lasted maybe 10 minutes there before you guys were like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. I think we were both on the same page. Like, it was more residual type stuff, like things peeking out, like looking at us. But when we tried to approach it, that it just kind of shut down.
Yeah. And I didn't get any responses from the Phasmobox, really.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I will say that back room where the model trains are is the place that I felt the most uncomfortable for the night. It wasn't, you know, very uncomfortable. It wasn't like I couldn't stand to be there.
Sure.
But I did get like a little feeling of, ooh, I don't love what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which says a lot because I don't think we felt uncomfortable the whole night.
No.
So to have any feelings of discomfort says a lot in both areas.
Right. It was in there and in the conductors area.
Conductors area, like the ticketing office place?
Yes.
You felt uncomfortable there. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. It is a spooky place.
For sure.
I mean, and the trains that came by were spooky just because they scare you at 4 a.m.
Yeah. We weren't there, of course. When
we were over in Horridge, but they were legit trains. I'm convinced of that.
I'm not convinced. Anyways, what did you guys think of the Vinton Train Depot?
Give me my Sarah's approval rating.
I loved it, and on the haunted 1 to 10 scale, I would give it maybe a 7.
Oh, okay. That's higher than I was thinking.
6 or 7.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
Sarah?
definitely got some good residual energy.
Yeah.
Which is tricky because you don't feel it in the moment.
It's not as interactive.
Yeah, I would agree. Loved the place.
Oh my gosh, so cool.
I would totally go back to just experience that place and like have a fun time again. Haunting wise, I would say like 6 to 7.
I think the only reason why it pushes me up just a hair is what I heard in the overnight.
Oh, okay. With the clickings.
The just constant knocks. And one of them was very loud. And so it's just like, if I know nobody's in there, I don't hear any trains, I don't hear any cars, I don't hear any people, I know that it's not a human that's making these noise.
True. No. Now, after talking to you guys and knowing for sure that what I was hearing was not train.
Sure.
Because I was second guessing myself, hearing constant clicking, noise and banging, you know, like doors shutting. I was thinking, that's got to be a train. That's got to be something going by. But then I actually heard it, and I'm like, nope.
No, the train was very obvious.
You can tell. Yeah.
And this place, just to kind of also add, you have to have a lock code to get in. So it's not like anybody could break in.
That's right.
Or get in. There are houses around this place, but I mean, not... That would be close enough to pick up knocking.
It's a pretty small town. Like, nobody's out super hanging out.
We left this place at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
and picked up the recordings at 4:30. So from 2 to 4:30, nothing's going on.
For sure.
But it just kind of goes to show, I think, that like we go to these places and we might come away and be like, I didn't really feel anything. I didn't get anything. I don't think we got any evidence. And then we review the evidence, you know, a couple weeks later and we're like, wow, there was a lot here that we didn't even realize.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
and
kind of cool.
I definitely want to go back.
I'd be open to it.
I want to play Train again.
That was so much
favorite
fun.
time ever.
We really had fun playing Train.
Katie, will you have us back to just the Train Depot?
Yeah, we'll just play Train. We'll play for a long time.
We'll go to both places, but
we'll
we loved
rotate
it
our
so much.
positions too.
All right, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was. We enjoyed it. Like we said, this is kind of a new place that has just opened up to paranormal investigators. So if you guys are into investigating, for sure go there.
Absolutely.
And let us know what you guys think. I think the more people that go, the more experiences will come out, and it'll be cooler to see.
I agree.
For sure. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in this week to our haunted investigation at the Vinton Train Depot. You can always find us at thetipsyghost.com and find all of our socials from there. We'll be sure to post evidence, and you can email us at thetipsyghost@gmail.com if you have new places for us to look at.
Please give us a 5-star rating and a great review anywhere you listen to podcasts. We really appreciate it, and it really does help.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.